Welcome back to The Great Expanse by JohnBat426 here on YouTube. It's always a pleasure to record these videos, to edit them, to put my unique spin on them, so that they can stand out. Not stand above, but stand out, so that anybody that's giving you DC-related content, Marvel-related content, Image content, stuff about Invincible, Dark Horse, it's not all a one-trick pony show. Do you understand? And I think I'm confused. Not a one-trick pony or a one... whatever. But I want us to stand among the greatest. You know what I mean? All the great content reactors out there. I could name them, but I won't. Not that I have a problem with talking about how great somebody else is on this channel, because there are some great reactors out there, and I have no problem giving them their credit. There's too many to name, okay? But I want us to stand out. I want us to be unique, okay? And of course, I want one day for us to be among the greats with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And that will take a lot of work. I mean, this really has to become a devotion, a dedication. Because it's not just a hobby, it needs to become a business. So that we are giving you, the people that subscribe to this channel and watch regularly, what you want. I never want you to think that I'm taking you guys for granted. Never. We're about at 130 something subscribers. I'm very grateful for them. For all of you. I call you guys subscribers. I don't call you fans. If you want to call yourself a fan, that's fine. But I'm not going to call you a fan, which is short for a fanatic. You are a subscriber. You are an essential cog of The Great Expanse by JohnBat426. Because if it wasn't for you sharing videos or liking videos to let the YouTube algorithm know that we've got traffic coming in and traffic going out, we wouldn't exist. So every video we make is dedicated to you, the subscribers. And if you've liked the videos that you've seen thus far, hit the like button. If not, hit the dislike button. Share these videos with other people that you know that like comic book related stuff as much as you do. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications. Which one? All. Not personalized or the one underneath, but all. So the next time a new video is dropped, you'll know about it second. I'll know about it voice. And I am the One Breath Champ, and welcome to The Great Expanse by JohnBat426. Today we have some news topics to address. Some interesting stuff has floated over this past week. And the first one we're going to address is Gal Gadot reportedly being in talks with James Gunn to do Wonder Woman 3 in the new DCU. Now, as soon as I heard this, I immediately thought in my heart that this was cap. What do I mean by cap? It means fluff, bluster. There's really no substance to it, but it sounds good. It's something to sort of whet your appetite, something to entice you. But I do not believe that this is accurate. I do not believe that James Gunn is reaching back into the DCEU to bring a stalwart, okay, a strong character of the DCEU into the DCU, and then saying we're doing a reboot. Because logically that doesn't make sense. To take a mainstay like Wonder Woman, she's the only person I think that had 3 movies. No. I'm sorry. She didn't have 3 movies. I still have Wonder Woman 3 on the brain because it was like greenlit to go with Patty Jenkins, and then a whole bunch of shenanigans happened with Star Wars Rogue Squadron that Patty Jenkins was also supposed to be directing. And so I apologize. She did not have 3 movies, but she's made a lot of appearances. Gal Gadot has. She first appeared in Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. She appeared in Wonder Woman, of course. She appeared in Wonder Woman 2, 1984. She appeared in Justice League, the theatrical version, and the Snyder Cut. She appeared in Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and she appeared in The Flash, okay? So she's a mainstay. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I do not believe it would make any logical sense. And no, this is not me, like, bashing Gal Gadot or Patty Jenkins. No, I'm just saying it doesn't make sense for a whole new revolutionized DC era of movies to include people from the past era. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let's go to superhero hype so we can read at least one article. I mean, it's been all over the internet about Gal Gadot claiming that she's going to be in James Gunn's new DCU. And I don't even know if Gal Gadot said that herself. Maybe just some news outlet out there just made that claim for her. Okay, so let's go to superhero hype. That's the website. Almost rhymed, but not quite. Now that did rhyme. All right, but superhero hype. The author is Anthony Nash. And it says DCU Wonder Woman 3 with Gal Gadot is reportedly nonsense. Okay? And that's what I thought, that was nonsense. Wonder Woman 3 might not be happening after all. During the latest episode of the Hot Mic podcast, Above the Lines, Jeff Snyder responded to a recent interview Gadot did with comicbook.com. In it, she teased a new Wonder Woman film, something that Snyder claims was a nonsense story. So maybe Gal Gadot really did say this. I don't know why you bring in James Gunn and Peter Safran to reboot the DCU if they're not going to reboot the DCU, Snyder said. And I said that, okay? I don't know why they would hire someone who wasn't Patty Jenkins to come in and do Wonder Woman 3 and then not let that person cast their Wonder Woman. Again, it just doesn't make sense to me. In Gadot's interview with comicbook.com, she said that as she understands it, she will be developing a third Wonder Woman film together with Gunn and Safran. I love portraying Wonder Woman, Gadot said. It's so close and dear to my heart. From what I heard from James and from Peter is that we're going to develop a Wonder Woman 3 together. Prior to Gadot's comments, plans for Wonder Woman 3 were scrapped by Gunn and Safran late last year, with director Patty Jenkins, who directed the first two Wonder Woman films, stepping away from the project as a result. And that's unfortunate, okay? Because Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot were just really like what do you call those people? The people that plant their flags in the Wonder Woman IP, intellectual property. And I really wanted to see where they could go with it. I was not a fan of Wonder Woman 1984, but it was in the same continuity. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I kind of like that, even if I didn't like the second movie, right? Currently, it's unknown what the future holds for Gadot as Wonder Woman, who made her possible last cameo in 2023's The Flash, which I alluded to at the beginning of this video. I'm sorry, and that's the end of the article. I thought it was going to be more the way it ended, okay? But I want to say I'm ambivalent, but I'm not. If we were still in that phase of uncertainty as to when they were like going to hire somebody to be the new Kevin Feige of the DC movie properties, you know, there was talk of, was it Justin Lin? Or is it, I did an article about it right here on the Great Expanse by John Bat 426, saying that there were rumors of somebody taking over. It turned out not to be true. So when we were in that uncertainty phase, that transitional period, that's when I was like, okay, let's just go with what Zack Snyder put into effect because of that uncertainty. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, let's go with Patty Jenkins, let's go with Gal Gadot, let's go with Ben Affleck, let's go with Jeremy Irons, Henry Cavill, Jason Momoa, not Victor Stone, but oh Lord Jesus, what is his name? I cannot think of the cyborg actor's name. It'll come to me later on. Ezra Miller, even with all the antics that they've been going through and experiencing, I was just like, Ray Fisher, that's his name, Ray Fisher, okay, who played Cyborg. It's like, let's just go with them since we don't have anything else. But now that James Gunn was announced, now that Peter Safran was announced as the co-CEOs of DC Studios, it's time for me, okay, I'm going to be honest, it's time for me to move on from the DCEU. And I know that's tough for a lot of people to hear. Again, I'm addressing myself first, because I did plenty of videos where I was like, let's just go with Zack Snyder, let's go with Henry Cavill. But since we have a new regime and a new establishment, it's time for me to say goodbye to the DCEU. And that's unfortunate, all right? So, as I was saying, I was ambivalent because I wanted them to continue with Ben Affleck and all of them. But it's like the new regime is in, so now I want us to go forward with the new establishment. All right, so that might sound hypocritical, whatever. It's that now that we have a new person in charge with a new plan, let's see it through, all right, all the way. And the second bit of news is about Dwayne Johnson opening up about Black Adam. And there's been a lot of talk that Dwayne Johnson's supposed to be suing James Gunn and DC, and who knows? Again, it was on the internet, so it doesn't mean it's factual. So we're going to go to Screen Rant, that's the website, all right? And the author is Grant Hermans, or Hermans. Dwayne Johnson opens up on Black Adam failure, explains DCEU and WB turmoil, because turmoil was an understatement. Late last year, it was... No, that's not a word. But let's just get into the article. Great picture of Dwayne Johnson here as Black Adam. This is a summary of the article. We don't want a summary. We want to read the actual article. Here we go. And there are a lot of pop-ups. You know, I just hate pop-ups. Despite being touted as changing the hierarchy of the DC Extended Universe, Dwayne Johnson is opening up about what went wrong with Black Adam. Johnson made his long-awaited debut as the DC anti-hero with the 2022 movie chronicling his origins as the father of a Kahndaq slave boy granted the powers of Shazam, only to use them for vengeance and be imprisoned for thousands of years, eventually unleashed on the modern day. Okay? After spending nearly a decade in development, Black Adam hit theaters to poor reviews from critics and falling shy of its break-even point at the box office, so Black Adam did not make money. Okay. During a recent appearance on Kevin Hart's Heart to Heart talk show, Dwayne Johnson was asked, was asked about Black Adam's failure at the box office and his future as the character. The actor-producer was candid in looking back on the DCEU movie, feeling it got caught up in a vortex of new leadership and indicating his time has come to an end as the anti-hero. So Dwayne Johnson will not be reprising his role as Black Adam per this article. That could change. See what Johnson shared in the quotes and video below. We will not be watching the video, but we will read what's written here. Finally! Okay, no. Okay. All you pop-ups, Screen Rant, do better, please. But maybe I should do it as The Rock. No, I won't. I think that Black Adam got caught in a vortex of new leadership, and at that time, as we were creating Black Adam, developing it, shooting Black Adam, we got knocked down a little bit because of COVID and the shutdowns got back up. There were so many changes in leadership. And as you know, anytime you have a company, but especially that size and magnitude, that's a publicly traded company, and you have all those changes in leadership, you have people coming in who creatively, fiscally are going to make decisions that you may not agree with philosophically. That will always be one of the biggest mysteries. You have the biggest opening of your career. Sure, no China, which could have been maybe 100 or 200 million more dollars. You have a superhero and you want to grow out the franchise. You bring back Superman and Henry Cavill, which the world went crazy. And we created a diverse superhero portfolio where we have just men and women of color in Black Adam. So I think Black Adam was one of those movies that got caught in that web of new leadership. But hey, at the end of the day, you know what it is. It's like new ownership coming in, buying an NFL team and going, all right, not my head coach, not my quarterback. Doesn't matter how many times you... It doesn't matter! Okay, how many times you won a Super Bowl, doesn't matter how many rings we got, I'm going with somebody else. Okay, so The Rock is very candid about this, okay? So the original Black Adam was poised to introduce a number of exciting new directions for the DCEU, namely the return of Henry Cavill's Superman for a powerful fight against Johnson's anti-hero prior to the movie's failure. Johnson and his producing partner, Danny Garcia, his ex-wife, seemed very positive about their potential future in the franchise, having indicated development on a sequel ahead of its release that would culminate in the third movie for the Superman fight. So they were kind of counting their chickens before they were hatched, With the announcement of James Gunn and Peter Safran becoming the DC Studios CEOs and forging a new path known as the DC Universe, though, these plans were ultimately scrapped. And I love Black Adam. I love The Rock in Black Adam. I love Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. I love Idris Hodge, or I don't remember his name. I loved Hawkman. I love Cyclone, who I wasn't really familiar with. And I love Atom Smasher. I love these characters. And the fact that they had Viola Davis reprising her role as Amanda Waller, I was invested in the movie. I really appreciated the movie. Interestingly, Johnson had previously indicated that in spite of Black Adam 2's cancellation, he was in talks with Gunn and Safran for another way to stay a part of the DCU, be it labeling the sequel under the Elseworlds banner the former has confirmed will exist, or as a new character. As such, the star producer's confirmation that his time is seemingly at an end in the franchise could point towards these talks not proceeding in a meaningful direction for either party. Considering Gunn looks to be rebooting nearly everything, except for Wonder Woman 3 according to Gal Gadot, there may not be room for Johnson's ideas. While Black Adam may have proven a short tenure for Johnson in the DCEU, he still has plenty on his plate for the near future. Johnson recently reconciled with Vin Diesel to return to the Fast and the Furious franchise, both for Fast X's post-credits and a new spin-off, and is also working with Disney for a live-action Moana remake and Netflix on 2 Red Notice sequels. Additionally, with his having talks with Kevin Feige before, it will be interesting to see if he tries his hand again at the superhero genre with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, given that last line, I did a video about Dwayne Johnson possibly playing another Egyptian-themed villain known as Apocalypse. Do you remember? If not, you will see a snapshot of that video on either one of my shoulders. Again, it's up to the edit, so either one of them. About him playing both Black Adam, who is an Egyptian-themed anti-hero, really a supervillain, and Apocalypse. So if he does not go forward with Black Adam, which it seems like he's not going to do, please get him in there as Apocalypse and Sabanor. Okay. So again, both articles revolving around the changing of the guard, with James Gunn and Peter Safran coming into the heads as CEOs of the new DCU, and unfortunately Gal Gadot and Dwayne Johnson's characters and their IPs, intellectual properties, being seen out the back door, and that's unfortunate. Okay? But it's necessary. It's just as The Rock said in this article. A new ownership is coming in. Doesn't matter how many Super Bowls you've won, how many rings you've gotten, how many awards, how many accolades. They want to go in a new direction. All right. So this has been DCU news for the weekend. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you guys thought about it. David, Brent, please let them know where their comments or their dissertations go if necessary. Sorry about the squeaky chair every time I do this. Thank you, David. Do your part, and I'll do my part so the Great Expanse by JohnBet426 can and will expand. It's in the name.